Hey guys, it's your girl Slim, and today I am going to be interviewing Kai. Today we will be talking about empowering other women, being that it's Women's Month. So why not? Let's get Kai in the seat and basically let's ask some questions. We're going to be talking about what inspired her to do photography and her journey on photography and how she can also inspire other women in the industry.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Kai Sahai, official _Kai Kai. Today we are talking about women in photography for Women's History Month. You can check me out at official _Kai Kai, Kaiki on IG, on multiple platforms, as well as at Kai Sahai at KAITSEHAY. And if you ever need an event photographer, make sure to hit me up.
Hey guys, it's your girl Slim, and today I have here Kai, beautiful Kai.
Hey y'all.
So Kai is also a female photographer just like me, and I met Kai at the Burn Away listening party.
Yes.
Kai, you know when I met you and I saw you, Kai was literally from the back to the front. Like, I'm talking about she was networking with every single person in that room. And that was a big inspiration to me because I've gone out to many events and I don't really see like female photographers. And when I saw you, I was just impressed. Like, even being the way how you moved around and talked to everybody, make sure you got everybody's picture. Like, you got the job done.
I appreciate that. That's like my goal, like, is to always to get everybody a picture. Like, everyone deserves a picture at an event. And you're right, like, there's not a lot of there is Black women photographers shooting events, but you don't see them specifically like in the field that we're in, which is like mainly music industry and nightlife. So I love that you was able to be like, oh shoot, there's another Black woman like me out there shooting. So
exactly. Yeah. So what made you get into photography?
I've always was a visual artist, so I always go back to my family ties. My mother was a graphic designer, so growing up, like, my mom taught me graphic design, and then I was just always in visual art type of spaces. But what really, like, catapulted, however you say that damn word, me get into photography. I also would like to say, too, like, I used to, like, really always watch music videos, like, heavily as a kid, so I also give a lot of credit to that.
Can I ask you, like, who specific, did you watch, like, a specific person, or, like...
It would just be, like, those, like, you know, BET Jams, MTV Jams, okay. VH1 Soul, especially VH1 Soul. Like, I love Neo Soul, so I just used to overly watch those type of videos. Even to, like, the Avril Lavigne's and the Panic at the Discos, watching those videos. But what really got me into it was, I guess... I would say, like, the Tumblr era, when everyone was on Tumblr trying to take pictures of themselves. My mom got me my first little Nikon DSLR. Was into taking pictures of myself and my friends. Kind of stopped, and then when I was about 14, 15, probably 15, I moved to Florida, and I was just so inspired by, like, Florida's sunlight and the colors, and I basically started shooting some of my rapper friends out there, and then the rest was history, so...
Wow, that's amazing. So you said you took a break, right, and you stopped. When you took a break, do you feel like you lost any skills, or did you feel like when you jumped back into doing photography, it was difficult, or...
No, I would say, like, during that time, like, I didn't know I wanted to be a photographer, so I don't think that break was really, like, I would say, like, considered an official break, but... I guess to speak on, like, my visual skills from a youth, like, I've always been, like, I guess, like, visually gifted. I feel like it. Okay, so,
period.
Honestly, it was just really, like, learning my settings. And my first experience, like, actually really understanding my camera was, of course, like, looking at YouTube and things like that. But me and my sister used to take pictures in the back of our garage and stuff, making our little studio. Then I took a photography course while I was, like, in high school, and I was doing, like, a dual enrollment program. So I took a photography course there, but I wasn't really paying attention. And then I have to credit a woman photographer named Jennifer Shavers. She's a newborn photographer in Florida, in Brevard County. I reached out to her. I found her stuff in a newspaper, and I hit her up, and I was like, yo, I want to learn how to do studio. She's like, okay, like, you can be my intern. So I actually...
That's dope. So she gave you that opportunity.
That space. Shout out to her. And so I actually started off shooting newborn photography, which a lot of times I forget it's part of my story. And then I also tapped in with this videographer named Eddie, who was teaching me how to do video and all that. And then when I got to Atlanta, that's where I really started to like hone into my craft when I got to college.
That was totally dope. So I would say, right, when you said learning your camera, what is the hardest part about figuring out how to use your camera? Because everybody has a camera, but not everyone knows how to use their camera or are really comfortable with going out to events and, you know, they see other photographers there and they're like, so what would you say is the hardest aspects of?
I'm definitely balancing light and being able to be adaptable to every single setting, especially because like me and you, we do events. The lighting is always changing. I know it can get kind of like scary, a little hectic. Like you're like, shit, I don't know, my camera not
exactly.
The light is different now. Now I gotta look at the light. I think specifically it's understanding like is the thing what's called like the light triangle. So understanding how to balance your shutter, your ISO, and your f-stop. And I feel like once that had clicked for me, sorry, I had an ADHD moment. I feel like once that had clicked for me, it was easy, but like at first, like I just didn't understand it. I was like, it's giving math. But
I know when I first picked up my camera and I went out to an event, I didn't even know how to use the camera. But shout out to Johnny Nunez because I went to
photographer.
Yes, I went to an Afrobeat event and basically it was my first time being outside and I didn't really know how to use my camera. I had just got the camera and I'm in there and like it was so dark in there and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I cannot see through the camera. I'm like, how do you change this? And then Johnny's like, girl, let me get your camera. Like, is this your first day outside? And I'm like, honestly, this is my first day outside. And I really appreciate him for that because in that moment, it challenged me. Like, it made me go home and really think like, no, girl, you need to learn your settings and know what's going on with your camera. So
No, it's really, like going into him helping you. Like, it's really important to have like mentorship and having people who can teach you. Like, I have to credit a lot of my photography career to my mentors and my friends who like took the time and like really taught me how to shoot. So that's very important. If you don't understand something, ask.
Always ask. And I'm going to say big shout out to the Udas because that's the photography group that I'm in. And basically like I'm the only female in that photography group. So I'm not going to lie, I started off with a Canon T7i. I was a basic shooter, but when I went outside with them, they made me feel like, girl, you are top notch, you know exactly what you're doing, but you do need to better your skills. And they challenged me because they were shooting better. They're shooting better than me. So I'm like, oh no, I need to like, you know, perfect my skills. And every day that we went outside to events, it was also them showing me how to use different settings and stuff. So it was basically like, shout out to the Udas.
It's always good to have a healthy competition.
Helped a lot.
Healthy competition is great because like you see and you're like, okay, it helps challenge you to do better.
And it's good to like, it's never any like jealousy vibes or anything. Like being able to help someone, like, you know, basically going into the industry and being able to help someone who just got in is a big thing because when we come out, we're shy, you know, we don't know anybody. Because I know when I first came outside, I didn't know anybody. So it was just like,
and especially in the space that we're in, you have whole bunch of photographers surrounding trying to get the same shot. So
oh my goodness, girl, tell me about a time. Do you do Fashion Week or
I have done Fashion Week, but I'm not really a big Fashion Week shooter.
Okay, tell me about a time where you've been outside at a big event and there's 20 other photographers and your main focus was to get a shot. How did you accomplish getting that shot with all those other people around you?
So I've shot a lot of where people are in the space because I'm in the music industry photographer. I'm a music industry photographer, so a lot of times I'm in the pit. So I've been in the pit with many artists. I love the photography pit, but the biggest thing for me is to like, I guess, like step in with confidence and honestly like move people out your fucking way. I mean, like not even to be like, because as a woman, like sometimes men photographers
they get aggressive.
They get aggressive, or they just like they're just like, oh, like, she don't know why, like, what is she doing? Like, she's just here to shoot, blah, blah, blah. Like, she don't know what she's doing.
They try to, like, push you to the side.
Push you to the side, and you honestly just gotta, like, move them out your way.
Exactly.
Like, and, like, make it known, like, I'm, like, you're here in the pit. Like, one thing I'm big about doing, like, whenever I'm in a pit, I introduce myself to everybody in the pit. And it honestly, it do throw them off. They be like, oh, shoot. Because a lot of times they don't be introducing themselves to each other.
They don't.
I'm like, yeah, I'm here. Like, you have to make it known that you're there and, like, get out the way. And also, a lot of times, like, a lot of male photographers will help you out, too. Like, that, I'm not going to say, but, like, kind of like that damsel in distress. Like, hey, like, can I get this picture? So you can use that to your benefit as well. But honestly, it's just making it known that, like, you're here and you're here to shoot and you're here to work, too. And I'm here to get
the same shots.
I'm actually here to get the better shots than you. So move out my way.
Yeah, move out the way. Like, literally, when it comes to, like, going outside and there's a whole bunch of... You literally have to be ducking, hold on, move to the side, move to the side. There's too many people on this side, let me go to the other side. Like, that's
really a finesse when you're in those type of spaces. So, yeah.
I would say, what advice would you give to any...
And they were in the same, the same field as me. And I also understand looking out for community when I know it's time to leave and when it's time to stay.
Exactly.
So, community and networking, and honestly, not being afraid of rejection. Like, I feel like a big reason why at certain stops in my career is because, like, I was afraid of rejection. And honestly, like, the worst thing someone can tell you is no.
Exactly.
Okay, so move on to the next thing. Like, you'll be fine.
One door closes, another one opens.
Facts.
Always.
Facts.
So, a lot of people have cameras, right? And say if I just wanted to get into the industry, do you recommend I start off with a phone, or do you recommend I jump straight into a camera? And if so, what camera should I start off with?
I mean, I think you can start with a phone to, like, visually get yourself, like, accustomed to taking pictures. But I'm more of, like, if you're trying to do actual photography, I think you should I'm not saying phone shooters aren't photographers, but you should get you a DSLR, or if you have the money, get yourself a full-frame camera. My first camera was a little Nikon DSLR, then I think I jumped to, like, a Canon. Like, everyone had that T5, T6i, that series. We're also in the new era of cameras. But my favorite camera, I feel like, is the holy grail, is the Mark series, like the 5D Mark IIIs and things. But we're now into the mirrorless era of Canon. So, honestly, like, when it comes to, like, what we do in events, I think, like, mirrorless works. Or you just need to make sure, like, the shutters are well equipped. Or if you're buying the camera, making sure that, like, the camera hasn't been used too much. Because a big reason why I had to switch from my Canon 5D Mark III to my Canon R5C was because my shutter was dying. But I had bought my camera, shout out to Coach, off of a concert photographer.
Oh,
so
wow,
I didn't think about that at the time when I was buying the camera, that especially because I was doing the same type of, I was shooting concerts and I'm shooting fast-paced things. So the shutter fake has died a little bit. But honestly, like, look up the stats, go on YouTube, ask your friends. You can buy a used camera, it doesn't have to be brand new. But
YouTube is your best friend.
Even, honestly, starting on film, like, getting, like, a point and shoot and teaching yourself how to shoot on film.
Exactly. Okay. Okay. So, Kai, what advice, it's Women's Month, what advice do you give to upcoming leaders who are women?
The advice that I would give to upcoming leaders, let me think about it. Women rule the world. We run the world. Well, Beyonce said whatever. But no, not to be so cliche. Advice I would give is, like, to just get out there and do it. Like, do the work. And don't let being a woman or whatever, like, make you feel like you can't do what you want to do, because you can do whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
And also, you gotta have confidence, and, like I said, finding community. I'm always going to go back to that. Finding community, good community to surround yourself who are trying to do the same things as you and elevate. And especially because it is Women's Month, I want to shout out Black women photographers. If you're trying to find a whole bunch of women visual artists, like shout out to Polly, that's my girl. Like she really is putting on for Black women photographers. And honestly, like do your research. Like there's so many communities, there's so many people out there, there's so many resources and opportunities for us. You just literally have to put in the effort and look. Like if you don't feel like you're seeing something, look, do research. So definitely.
It's really all about just going out there, putting yourself and making yourself uncomfortable.
Yes.
Doing what you wouldn't normally do. Like a lot of times we get distracted. We're like, okay, we're gonna go do that, and then we're like, hold on, no, we're gonna wait. Because I was like, when I wanted to do this interview, I'm like, oh my goodness, like I'm like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Even my friends, they're like, you keep saying do it. So you know what I did? Just did it. And
just do it.
Thank you so much for joining me.
No problem.
You're definitely an amazing photographer. You're an inspiration. Continue to motivate the women around you and also other photographers that are upcoming. We're definitely going to be working in the future because amazing.
So not just Brooklyn this year, trying to get myself to Harlem and Bronx.
Exactly, period. So
if you're trying to find my work, you can find me at official_Kai, official_KAIKAI on Instagram or on any platforms, or you can find me at kaisahai.com, as well as I have platforms that is KAITSEHAY.com or on IG, Twitter, all of that. And last, I also have an agency called Unfiltered, UNFLTRD, where we do photography, we do music videos, producing, all of that. So casting, all of that.
And make sure you guys tune in, check out Kai. Her work is amazing. I will be putting her Instagram in the link below.
Yes.
So make sure you guys go show love. And thank you so much again for being here and allowing me to interview you.
Yeah, definitely.
It was amazing.
All right,
I hope you guys love this. And we are out.
We're out. Bye.
Yeah. Cool. As women photographers, like we really need to get together and like